What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Alright, and today I'm going to talk about World Boss Ultimate, not Legends. Alright, and what character you need to build to do World Boss Ultimates. That way you can start on trying to get tier 3s. That way you can do World Boss Legends to try to get more tier 3s and tier 4s and so on and so forth. Alright, so your Ultimates, they're going to drop for the Black Order, like Thanos, Proxima, Black Dwarf, Ebony Maw, Corvus Glaive, and Supergiant. They're going to drop tier 2 materials, as in Chaos Nornstones and Black Antimatter. And they also drop EOD and TCP, and occasionally CCF if you're lucky. They drop books, like Proxima, she drops combat books, and you have a chance of getting the Odin's Blessing. Alright, so with Proxima, you'll want to bring in physical attack characters like Captain America, Wolverine, Falcon, Hulk, so on and so forth. Black Dwarf, you'll want to bring energy attack characters, as in like Sharon Rogers, Thor, Beta Ray Bill, if you've done the Epic Quest, Doctor Strange, and characters like that. Corvus Glaive, you can bring either or. It doesn't matter because he has a lot of high dodge. So you can do either physical or energy attack characters. Alright. Then we have Supergiant, where you have to bring in energy attack characters because she has high physical defense. Alright. Then we have Ebony Maw. Also, you have to bring in energy attack characters. And then Thanos. Thanos is going to be your toughest challenge, where you can bring energy or physical attack characters. Doesn't matter. Alright. Then we have Apocalypse, where your best bet is to bring energy attack characters because he's a combat type. Then we have Scarlet Witch, where you want to build your speed characters because she's a blast type. So you want to have that type advantage. Oh no, they'd have to be physical attack. Then you have Cable, where he's going to be blasting. You can bring in speed also. And then you have Quicksilver, which is speed. So you'd have to bring in combat types, as in like Moon Knight, Captain America, Wolverine, so on and so forth. And the X-Men, they're going to drop X-Men materials like Mcron crystals and Phoenix feathers. That way you can build up your X-Men, or you can work on your comic cards and try to craft them. Okay, so I'm going to show you some of the mechanics and who I used to use in World Boss Ultimate. I'm not going to do the whole fight. I'm going to just show you the mechanics and what you need to try to avoid. So we're going to go with Proxima. Alright, and I'm not going to try to defeat it. So I'm using physical attack characters. So I'm using She-Hulk, Sif, and Valkyrie. So, alright. I'm not going to use no strikers. Now, Proxima, she does a lot of jumping around back and forth. She shoots her spears at you, stabs. As you can see, she has does a lot of moving around. Alright, I'm gonna attack just a little bit. Alright, now once she gets to 10 bars, she'll throw out the spears. You want to dodge those, like so. Alright. And like I said, you want to build physical attack characters for her, because she has high energy defense. So She iframes a lot. She moves around, so make sure you don't waste like your tier 3 or so on and so forth, or your ultimate skill. Alright. Yeah, make sure you dodge like her dashing and the spirit attack she does. You want to make sure you dodge all that. Alright. So, and boom. That's what you want to do for Proxima. That's the mechanics on her. She just dodges a lot, jumps back and forth, throws the spears. So you got to watch out for those so you won't lose your characters. Alright, I'm going to do a energy attacking character. Well, energy attacking, you know, for the World Boss Ultimate. So we're going to go with Ebony Maw. Alright, so with that, let's say you have Thor. So we'll get Thor. And you can use like any leadership like Doctor Strange, or if you have Dr. Voodoo, you can use his lead. If you don't have Nick Fury, you could use anybody that could buff up his energy attack. You could use Ancient One. Ancient One's a good leadership, especially if you have her newest uniform. Alright, so we're going to go with this one, Thor, because you need to have energy attacking characters for this one. So, alright, he'll throw out the meteors. Alright, so like I said, he jumps back also, shoots out beams. I'm going to just attack him just a little bit to try to get him. Alright, there you go. You see the purple. You'll want to dodge the meteorites, as right now I'm not doing. But you'll want to run around outside of that circle. Then after he does that, he's going to go into an iframe. Then you'll want to attack again. Alright, then he's going to cutscene once if you don't do enough damage. Alright, then he'll go back into another iframe. He'll send out shadow clones to try to stun you. You'll want to hit him. So like I said, he does a lot of iframing, jump back and forth. He'll throw meteors at you. And like in that fight where you see the whole arena as in purple, you want to be on the outside of that, and you'll want to run around the circle so you can avoid the meteorites so they don't stun you. So you'll want to work on your energy attacking characters. Alright. And then for the last one, I'm going to show you Thanos. I'm going to show you his mechanics. Alright. With Thanos, like time freezing, like you lock him in place, or debuffing and all that other stuff, it won't work on him. It'll work on him on the first phase, but then the second phase, you just can't do that. You have to go all in with the attacks because he's that big of a boss for like starting out players. So what you want to do, you'll let him jump down and shoot the beam out. Then you'll want to attack. And once you start attacking and get him down to a certain amount of bars, he's going to go into an iframe. He'll shoot out the little purple beams. You'll want to dodge that. Alright. He'll go into another iframe once you start attacking again. It just depends on your DPS, really. Alright, you'll want to attack again. Alright. Now, if you don't get him down before the 11 bars, he'll send out Corvus and Proxima, and you'll want to dodge all the mechanics right there, as you can see, the fireballs and all that. Alright, he's going to jump down. I'm going to attack him and initiate the next phase. So after 11, he's going to go into a cutscene. And now you'll want to dodge all the meteorites from the purples. So do not get caught in these, because then he's going to jump just like that. Then you can attack again. Alright, and as you can see, the purple. Alright, I knocked him out of that phase. So he summoned Ebony Maw and Black Dwarf. So now you'll want to run away from Black Dwarf and the meteorites. In the portal, you want to switch again to your main DPS. Attack again. Alright, now he's going to go back into another iframe, and you'll want to stay in your safe spot right there so the beams won't kill you, because they will one-shot you. And boom. So, with my account, it may look easy, but like when you're starting out or whatever, make sure before you do any World Boss Ultimates or whatever, work on your cards, work on your characters, and make sure you're able to at least do at least one World Boss. Doesn't matter. So if you got enough to do like maybe one World Boss each, work on like one physical character and one energy attacking character. It doesn't matter as long as you're building up your characters. That way you can try to progress forward. And I'm going to go into the free-to-play characters that you can build up to beating the World Boss Ultimate. So I'm going to it right now. Now, if you have the uniforms and you don't have them tier 3 yet, and you really want to work on your tier 3s, okay, the best ones to work on will be if you have this uniform for Captain America. Captain America's a good one. Okay, Thor, if you have this Love and Thunder uniform, he's a great one for World Boss Ultimate. You have Moon Knight. You have Hulk. You have Carnage. You have Iron Man. Black Widow with this uniform. Then you have, see the other free-to-plays that you could definitely get for DPS wise. Sharon Rogers, you'd have to have this uniform, or if you don't have this one, her Star Knight armor, that's definitely a good one also. Okay. Then you have Captain America Falcon. And then for another DPS, Kamala Khan with this uniform. You could definitely use her. Then we have Spider-Man. But you'd have to have this uniform, the black uniform, for PvE. Because the red one is for PvP. So Spider-Man could definitely do World Boss Ultimate for you, like Proxima, Thanos, and Corvus. Alright. You have Hawkeye with this uniform. And you have Ghost Rider with this uniform. And you have Jane Foster. She'd have to have this uniform. Pretty decent. Alright. You have Loki with the TVA uniform. Or if you have the President uniform, he could also do it too. So either or. Alright, and another free to play would be Human Torch. Human Torch is a good World Boss killer. And then we have Kate Bishop is also a good choice, but you'd have to have this uniform also. So if you have the uniforms and you're still working on your World Boss Ultimates, these are your pretty good DPSs. All right. And I would say Silk with the Summer Days uniform, but you'd have to actually spend money to get this. And if you don't have it, you'd have to wait till next summer to get this. So I'm going to just say that's an honorable mention right here with Silk with the Summer Days. Let's see who else is free to play that's pretty good in World Boss. That's the only ones that could go to tier 3 and Transcendence, really, that you could definitely work on towards fighting your World Boss Ultimates. So those are the DPSs you should be focused on. Alright, so now for the supports. Supports only. I'm gonna just go through those also. Alright. So with supports, if you have now if you spend crystals, there's a bunch of Epic Quest characters that are free to play also without spending crystals. So like in Moonstone is definitely good. She's great. They don't talk about her enough right now because all of the power creeps with the tier 4s and stuff like that. But I'm gonna make a video on her later about I had to knock the dust off of her and bring her back out. So that's gonna come in a later video. But Moonstone is definitely good. Alright, so as in support characters, but you'd have to have the uniforms. You have to have the uniforms. So that would be not Ironheart because she's a paywall, semi-paywall. Alright, so let's see. We have Sif. She's a free to play. You have to have this uniform right here. But she's definitely a good support. You have Sif. And then you have Hulkbuster with this uniform. He's a good support / lead. So I'm going to put him in the support / lead category. Okay. Then we have I would say Vision. Vision is a pretty good lead. Because he gives all allies basic attack increased by 20% with this uniform. So he's a pretty good leadership and a pretty good DPS also. Alright, let's see. Shuri. If you have this uniform, she's a great support character / DPS. So you can put her in both categories. So Shuri is a good one with that uniform. Alright, we have War Machine, which he's a good support also with this uniform for like Iron Man. Alright, we have Taskmaster, which is free to play. So if you have this uniform, the Black Widow uniform, he's a good support. Alright, we have Ancient One, which is a great support also. Or you can use her as a lead. So either which one. Alright, then we have, let's see, who else could be? Cyclops. Cyclops is definitely a good lead / support for energy attacking characters. So I would probably say like the top, I'm gonna say the top 5 Lead / supports for energy and physical attack character will probably be Cyclops, Ancient One, Taskmaster, She-Hulk, War Machine, and Shuri. I would say Shuri in the support category, and the rest of them are like lead / supports. So Shuri would be a good support character because of her passive, her tier 2 passive. You have to get her tier 2 to unlock it. As you can see, all allies increase basic damage dealt to supervillains by 55% and decrease damage by 40%. So that would be a great for a support. Ancient One, her tier 2 passive with this uniform. With the Unleashed Mystic uniform. Her tier 2 passive is all allies increase all resistance by 30, ignore dodge rate by 30, and increase damage by all elemental damage by 40. So that would be a good passive for elemental characters like Sharon Rogers, Storm, anybody with elemental effects like Thor. Thor would work on them. Okay, in her uniform. She has debuff on her uniform. Her leadership, that's what it is. Her leadership is for blast types only. Blast types like Iron Man, Storm, Sharon Rogers. So, and it increases her energy attack by 50%. So she's a good lead / support. War Machine. His leadership is a physical leadership. Even though he's a blast, he still has a physical lead. Alright, and his passive is for machine abilities only, like Iron Man, Cable, Ultron, anybody with the machine tag. He increases their basic attack by 40%, basic defense by 40%, and gives them an extra 30% increase of HP. Alright, so he's a good lead / support. Alright, Taskmaster. Like I said, if you have this uniform, as you can see on his uniform effect is for all allies. Increases basic damage dealt to supervillains and superheroes by 40%. So if you're doing World Balls Ultimate against either X-Men or the Black Order, he's a good support character. She-Hulk with this She-Hulk uniform. Her leadership is for all allies and increases basic damage dealt to male type characters by 65%. So that's the best leadership in the game at 65%. So that would definitely help you out and if you need a leadership. So we only have maybe 2 female world bosses as Scarlet Witch and Dark Phoenix. So the rest of them she would definitely be a good help for. So yeah, that's about it for She-Hulk. She's a good leadership. Alright, now Cyclops. With the Phoenix 5 uniform, he is a villain. And if you end up buying this one, it turns him back into a superhero. So he has flexibility if you need a villain, a support / lead, or you need a hero / lead, you can go back and forth. But if you only have the Phoenix 5 uniform, his regular passive is all allies, 30% energy attack, and his leadership is 35% basic attack and 25% basic defense. But if you have his newest uniform, it changes. So his passive goes up by 5%, so he gives you a 40% energy attack. And then for all allies, he gives you 45% all attack and 30% basic attack. So if you're using Cyclops with a physical attack character, he will only give him 45% basic attack. But if you use him with an energy attacking character, he's going to give you 45 and an extra 40. So he's giving you 85% energy attack / all attack. So he's basically good for energy attacking characters like Iron Man, Sharon Rogers, Moonstone, so on and so forth. And then if you have Black Bolt, with this uniform, the Fallen Soul, he's a good lead / DPS. And with his passive, he gets the debuff, but his leadership is for Inhumans only. So he's only buffing himself to 65%, which is awesome. But if you don't have the uniform, you have the Marvel X uniform. You have this uniform. His leadership still stays the same, so you're not really losing nothing. But his newest uniform has more damage to it. So Black Bolt is really good also. But if you don't have the uniform, you'd have to wait until next Halloween to get it. So, but the lead / support characters you'd have to have their uniform really to get the most out of the character. And once you start unlocking World Boss Legends, your World Boss Ultimates, and you have their uniform, the best uniforms for those would be Ebony Maw with the Black Order uniform. Because this uniform, as you can see, all allies increases basic damage dealt to universal types by 35% and decreases damage by 35%. So against universal characters, he's going to buff your damage and decrease the damage you take. So he's a good support in that area. And then you have Proxima Midnight, which her uniform effect is for villain allies only for the villains. It's going to increase damage dealt to supervillains by 35% and increases damage dealt to superheroes by 40%. So she's a good lead. And then I think it's her leadership. You can use her as a leadership too because she gives you ignore dodge by 45% and increase your crit damage by 30%. So she's a lead / support once she has this uniform. Oh, and Ebony Maw is a good leadership also. As you can see, all allies 40% energy attack. So he has a good leadership too. So, but that's only if you have these uniforms. So, and like I said, once you start working on your leads and your DPSs and your supports to try to climb World Boss Ultimates, unlocking those, getting as much tier 2 material, that way you can get your first tier 3 and so on and so forth. That way you can start unlocking World Boss Legends. The more tier 3s and the more transcendent characters you have is the better you'll be for World Boss Legend, because you're going to definitely need those characters to do stages, because you just can't take tier 2 characters in World Boss Legend. You have to have tier 3 and transcendent characters. No doubt about it. So your ultimates are, if you're starting out, is your priority. Don't try to rush. Just try to work on your characters, build them up as much as you can, and just grind it out. So, and to make your character stronger, you'll want to do like your Uru slots. So you'll want to go like your character gear, In each character gear, you want to go to equipped Uru. So as you can see, I have 4 slots amplified, and like amplified, they give you extra stats for, as you can see, go to your info, your physical attack, and your HP, because your defenses, they're gonna be good because you'll get your extra defenses off your uniforms. So you'll want to increase your attack and your HP. So you'll want to equip attacking Uru on each character. Like Captain America, he's a physical attack character. So you'll want to give him physical attack Uru. Like as you can see, it doesn't matter what slot it's in. Now if you amplify your Uru slots, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you put him at. As long as he has Uru for his attack. And it all depends on your card stats also. Like what are you lacking? Like crit damage, ignore defense, crit rate, attack speed, dodge, max HP, so on and so forth. So that's all the Urus are there for, is to just amplify whatever you're lacking on your cards. So that's why I always say, like the little events we get from the event quest, always pick a premium card, because that's going to help out your whole roster overall instead of just one character like a CTP or a tier 2 mega advancement ticket, stuff like that. That's just for one character. Your card deck is for your whole roster. So if you have 2% on your cards, that's going to work for everybody in your whole roster. So your cards are your most important when you're starting out. So always log in, do your events, and at the end, make sure you get your premium cards. That way you can try to get Pierce, because Pierce does make it a lot better when you're doing World Boss Ultimate and World Boss Legend. So if you're struggling on World Boss Ultimate, it doesn't matter. Just pick a premium card. If you get a lame card, I'll call them lame. So if you get a lame card, I wouldn't equip it. I would keep it and just wait till the next event comes out and just try to get as many premium cards you can, because they're valuable. They're valuable. So I have a video on what cards you need to try to get. If you do spend a little money, you could gamble on them. But if you don't, and you're getting them from the chest, I have a video on what cards you need to equip and what cards you need to keep. That way you can re-roll and try to get Pierce on your cards. So make sure you check that video out. But like I said with the World Boss Ultimates, you want to work on a variety of characters from physical to energy attack, and your leadership / supports. They're going to be some trying times when you're starting out. Trust me, I was the same way. So there's plenty of options when you're free to play with the bio selectors. You could definitely do some stuff when you get bio selectors. And you can see you get 30. It depends on what you get from like check-ins. And like if you're starting out, the best ones to get like free to play so far, like Scorpion, Scarlet Spider, Scream, Katie. Katie's a good one. Like if you're starting out. And as you can see, you got Taskmaster. And you have Brother Voodoo, Dr. Voodoo. And you have Morgan Le Fay. She's a good one because she has a good uniform once Halloween comes around, but you'd have to actually spend the money to get that one. Let's see. Definitely get Shuri. You can get Titania. She has a good leadership. Medusa. She has a good leadership. Once you get her uniform. Hela. She has a good leadership / support. And you can see Ancient One. Like I said, there's plenty of DPSs or lead / supports from the boss selectors. Alright. Do not pick Sharon Rogers because you can work on her through the Shield Academy where you can get a Tier 2 Sharon Rogers. Okay, as you can see, Jane Foster, Kamala Khan, Phil Coulson is a good Tier 2 support. He can't go Tier 3, but he could be a good support for World Boss Ultimate. Like I said, Sylph, She-Hulk, Hulkbuster, you got Venom. There's a lot of characters that you can pick like from a bio selector. So always make sure you do your check-ins from the events and all that stuff. And as you can see, the 28-day check-in, you get a free CTP anyway. So always make sure you log in for that. And then the monthly check-in, after the 4th week, you get a Tier 2 ticket. So, like I said, there's no rush in trying to get to World Boss Legend. As long as you can do your World Boss Ultimates, try to gain as much Tier 2 material. That way you can work on your next Tier 3 and so on and so forth. If you can at least try to get, I would say, 6 Tier 3s at least, you can grind that content out quick and fast as you can, and just you'll get there. So, because I know that everybody wants to try to get you to get to the World Boss Legend so you can start working on your Tier 4s and all that stuff, and that's good. That's good because rewards are actually great because you get guaranteed CCF, so on and so forth, and that's good. But once Noah came out, it took me forever to try to. I only had like one team that I could beat him with, and it took me a while to learn that one. So, like I said, once you start working on your cards first, then your characters, and start beating World Boss Ultimate, then you'll be fine. But hit me down in the comment box down below. Let me know who specifically that you are working on and how to make them a little bit better. And I'll try to reply to you. Make sure you smash that like button. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.